guys, it's Katya. So I wanted to start these kind of let's talk videos where I just rant and then answer your questions and then actually ask you guys questions and hear your thoughts. So the topic of today's video is story times. We're gonna talk about why I make them, the aftermath, updates on the stories. So first I want to start by saying I made my channel and I started telling stories for the sole purpose that one day my kids will hear my stories and then they'll know what I was actually like in high school and college. I never really thought anyone else would watch them, especially people I know, because I didn't think anyone cared that much. The first story time I posted was about an ex-boyfriend. I wanted to post that one first mainly because it was my oldest story. It had been 3 years since we dated, so I didn't think it would be problematic to talk about. I just had so many little funny stories about him and I thought it wasn't that serious. And I also thought there were a lot of little lessons that I learned from that relationship. Like, don't let anyone treat you like they're better than you. If you watch the video, I'm really awkward in it, but I'm like laughing and smiling. Like, obviously I'm not angry or upset or serious. When I first posted that video, I had 20 subscribers, so it wasn't like I was trying to expose him to our old high school or anything. And I really didn't think that people from our high school would even watch. Because like I said, why does anyone care? But a lot of people did. That video got like 20 thumbs down because people thought I was being so mean. Some people thought I was talking about my boyfriend I had at the time while I was still dating him. And in my defense, it was a past relationship about someone who didn't treat me right. Like, why am I not allowed to talk about it? If I tell the 100% truth and just facts and then say what I learned from it, is it bad to speak about what people have done to you in the past? Even though there's another person involved, it's still my experience. But also, I never said his name. It happened 3 years ago, so everyone who was in that school while we were dating was basically graduated or seniors. I don't know why it blew up so much. And when I started getting subscribers and people started watching my old videos, I knew I wasn't crazy because then the likes just kept going up, and if I was genuinely mean, I don't think all the comments would have been, oh, you're so funny, you're so funny, you're so good at telling stories. Here's the thing, I'm sure it's not fun to watch a video about you on the internet about all the bad things you do to someone. But if you're willing to do those bad things privately, shouldn't you be able to own up to them publicly? And like I said, I didn't even say his name. There's no owning up. Some people did know who it was because they know me. But did they go attack him? No, they attacked me. So why is he mad? I don't know if he's mad. Why is everyone else mad? And if he made a video about me saying bad things I did to him, like, am I really allowed to be upset if I did those things and he's telling the truth? There were some other videos that got backlash in my personal life. So there's one called My Best Friend Ditched Me and Went to LA. And for that one, all the people were also out of my life. It happened 3 years ago that same year. And it was a mind-boggling story that I didn't understand, which made for some funny content because I'm genuinely still confused. Now, I know that these people are going to watch it because if they watch the boyfriend one, they're definitely going to watch one that's probably about them because it says best friends in the title. So I make so sure not to exaggerate, not to add anything to be like more interesting. I state the facts and then how I felt about them. I didn't want to give them any room to tell anyone, oh, that's a lie, that's not true, so she's lying about the whole video. Like, I didn't lie. And that can be said for all my stories. Why would I give anyone the opportunity to tell people I'm lying? The story is interesting enough with just the facts. I don't need to exaggerate because I don't want people calling me out. But in regards to this story, I'm like, again, if you can ditch me, why can't I tell people that you ditched me? Why does it make me the bad guy for talking about something that you did to me? And I actually talked to one of those girls that the video is about like 3-4 years later, and I was genuinely asking, like, why did it make you upset if I told the truth? And she never said because you lied or exaggerated or it didn't happen like that. All she said was because you're using our lives as entertainment. But keep in mind, at that time I had 20 subscribers. It wasn't like I was making story times because people were asking for them and I ran out of ideas, so I was using personal things. I could have been really mean. I could have been serious. I could have been angry in the video, but instead I chose to make it funny because I want to move on from the situation. Of course I did. It's been 3 years, but I'm saying I don't want to think about it anymore, and I don't want to look back and it be negative. I want it to be funny. I just don't need people in my high school for content. My biggest video is my Catholic school video that happened in middle school. That wasn't about anyone. It was about rules of my school. Like, I don't need, you know. But those stories are a big part of my life, and it's the reason why I have trust issues and troubles making friends. So I feel like if I skipped that whole part of my life, the stories I tell in the future aren't gonna make sense. Now, there's a few rules that I have for myself when making story times, and I've only broken it once. So number one, the people that it's about have to be out of my life for a pretty significant amount of time. 2, I just have to tell straight facts and not exaggerate or lie because I don't want to feed my kids false information, and I don't want anyone to be able to call me out. Now, I have broken the first rule one time, and it was when I had 29 subscribers and all my friends were treating me very badly and I just needed to vent, and talking to them wasn't doing anything, so I kind of made the video for them to see and just reach out to me and apologize. So the video was just examples that they did that hurt my feelings and how it made them feel, and it was so mature and so nice, like not petty, not mean at all. It was like, don't have friends that compete with you, like it ruins your mental health. And then I'd give an example of one of my friends competing with me and saying how it affected me. Again, I didn't use names, but the people watching could tell who they were, but I don't think anyone else could tell. And again, I had 29 subscribers. No one was watching. I probably got like 20 views. And instead of reaching out and talking like good friends would do, every single one of them stopped talking to me and cut me off. I only told the truth. I was respectful. Months later, I found out that they stopped talking to me because they didn't think they did any of those things to me, and they thought it was my fault that I ruined the friendship, that we were fine before I ever posted that video. And that just tells me that they never listened to me when I would talk to them. They just didn't want to own up to anything. And I was shocked because, as bad as it sounds, if I made a video about my best friend Danny, the first thing she would do is like call me and be like, bro, what? Hello? Like, why are you making a video? I'm sorry if I did this, but why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she would have a conversation with me. And maybe it should have been handled privately, but like I said, 20 views. It was about something that actually was very important. It had a lot of lessons and advice. It was like an advice video with examples. It just kind of showed me that, you know, they were ready to cut me off anyway after high school, which I kind of expected, but I hate that I gave them something to blame me for. Even though it was me recounting all the things they did to me, I still came out the bad guy. And like, I was the reason our friendship ended. Like, that erased every bad thing they did to me somehow. So I honestly want your guys' opinion. I want you to comment down below. If I make a video about an experience that happened to me, even if it involves other people, and I tell the truth and just state facts and how I felt, is it wrong? That's a little of the negative aftermath, but there's also positive aftermath that kind of happens. Almost every video I've made about a boy, the boy has reached out and we had laughs about it. And that makes me feel really good because when I make those videos, I just think it's because they're genuinely funny stories. Like, I tell these stories to my friends to make them laugh, not to be like, oh, look at, he broke my heart, like what an asshole, like all this stuff. Not to bash them, it's because I think they're funny. I would rather make things that people did to me funny than like cry about it and be the victim like years later and not get over it. Also, people from my high school that I've never really talked to before reached out to me when I posted the bullying series and was like, I had no idea that was happening, I'm so sorry, she's psycho. And I'm like, thanks. It also made people from my bully's college reach out to me and be like, oh my god, she's doing it to me too. Which also made me feel less crazy. Last night, actually, I was going through my old text messages for some reason. I think I just felt nostalgic, and I found so many texts from so many people just about everything that she's done and like talking her and calling her bad names, and it's the people that are in her life and like are closest to her, and it just makes me feel less crazy and makes them look crazy because I literally have texts of you calling her but now you're like dating. Overall, I don't regret making any story times that are currently on my channel because they all have a reason and a lesson. Now, there are experiences that I'm not comfortable making a story time right now because I'm not over it right now. And maybe one day I'll be ready, but I don't think it's right to tell stories that are so fresh. Because once I post a story, it means I'm completely over the situation and over the person. And it's a good way to kind of just leave it in the past and move on. But now I want to answer some questions that you guys left me about story time. Raim asks, what about the brand deal video? What do you think would have happened if you followed through with it? I think they would have gotten my nudes. I have never actually sent a nude of any kind. Like, honestly, first of all, I'm too insecure about my body to do that. And second of all, I don't trust anyone. Like, even my boyfriend I was with on and off for like almost 3 years? No. Yeah, I think they would have just taken the pictures and ran. Carla asks, any updates about Medusa? Sadly. Over the summer, Medusa cut off my ex because we had gotten back together, and now they are friends or whatever they are again, and she told him to cut me off completely, so he did. And then when I reached out to say like, hello, after everything I've done for you, you're just gonna cut me off as a friend, because she said I won't be in your life if she's in your life, like I did something bad to her. And he's like, oh, it's okay, I'll follow you again. And I'm like, don't bother. Just don't come crying to me when she accuses you of rape a 3rd time. Alessandra asks, what happened to your friends from high school? We don't really talk anymore. I have a lot of friends from high school, but the friends that I thought I was going to be friends with after high school, we don't talk anymore, which is weird to think about. Jessica asks, do people ever realize you were telling a story about them and confront you about it? Yes. Like I said before, the boys always reach out. The biggest kind of confrontation was that video that I deleted that I said before about my friend. First, that girl unfollowed me, so I reached out and I said, no hard feelings, I just don't think we're good as friends. Like, that's why the video wasn't mean. It was just me reflecting. Like, we compete too much, it's fine. And she was like, you're petty. So there hasn't ever been like a huge like bad confrontation. It's mostly people reaching out to me and saying like, oh, you're right. Sorry. Because if you know me, you know I'm not trying to like ruin your life. It's just funny. Like, the people who reach out to me that the story is about them, they're like, that was funny. This one boy literally said, you could have been meaner to me, and I said, I know. About the brand deal, Kaden asks, did they say it was Fashion Nova, and was it a fan? Yes, the email said Fashion Nova. They said they were Fashion Nova. I never thought about the fact that it could be a fan. That creeps me out. Like, imagine if I sent a fan. Wow. Adam asks, have you seen any more tree people lately, and have any more paranormal experiences happened? No, thank God, especially because I'm home. I have not seen the tree people. Maybe it's because I'm not out driving at night, but also nothing really paranormal has happened, which is good. Except one time, it's not really paranormal, but I just thought it was funny. I fall asleep listening to podcasts, and one of the podcasts I follow is a true crime one. So I like woke up at 3 a.m. and the podcast was saying, and then he was sawing her head off and like slowly sawing her head off, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? But anyway, Lena asks, what's your favorite story to tell people? I mean, the most effective story is the bullying stories, but they take so long. Sorry, I'm pulling up my stories. They take so long to tell, like, unless that person has 2 hours. Yeah, either that or the Catholic school rules. Vlad asks, do you know if your music scammer did it to anyone else? I don't know, actually. He said he had other clients and that they were all happy. I don't even know if he has clients. I'm sure he doesn't because he can't even pay his rent. Those were most of the questions that you guys asked. Let me know your thoughts about this topic in the comments because I'm actually very curious, because I feel like story times are always seen as problematic, but they're just literally my experiences. And I feel like if I'm honest, then there's no harm done. And while you guys probably don't know if I'm honest or not, like the person I'm telling it about knows that it's honest because they were there. But that's it for today's video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching our Instagram shout out today. If you want to be the next one, follow my Instagram at katyaawar and like all my pictures, and I will pick you. And I will see you in the next one.